It's not that parents are not trying to make these holidays these amazing kumbaya moments. It's just impossible for some people. It's impossible because the other co-parent is an asshole or a dick or a bitch, whatever name you want to put in there. I don't really care. And quite honestly, we're divorced. And so I don't want to spend the holiday with you. I know everybody says put your kids first. I am. I am putting my kids first by doing 2 separate holidays. My name is Samantha. I have been divorced for, 16 years, and I am a divorce coach and a co-parenting coach. I do a lot of different trades, but the holiday season is upon us, and I've been doing some videos. I did a great one about Christmas. I'm putting out a video today about Thanksgiving and how we navigate these high conflict, high energy, emotional roller coaster co-parenting journeys. So today I'm going to give you the top 10 tips to get through the holiday season. I'm not talking just about Thanksgiving. I'm talking about Christmas as well. This is just general practice that I've used in my own coaching with clients that I would really encourage you to share with somebody that's going through a divorce, that's having a hard time, somebody that's still in court, possibly battling it out, that doesn't even have a good parenting plan yet, that is really just nerve-wracked with the holidays coming up. Number 1, recognize your own emotional stance on this. Self-recognition that the holiday time is triggering to you. Self-recognition that you get emotional when you talk about Christmas or Thanksgiving, that it's a family thing. Recognize that you have your own triggers around holidays. Okay? I want you to be self-aware that you're over-emotional, that you're having a hard time with this, that this is going to bring out the really emotional side of you that maybe the other side is just not ready to handle. Okay? So make sure you do your own check within yourself of where you stand with things. Number 2, expectations are different for the both of you. So for mom, it may be, hey, I want to keep traditions normal. I want everything to go the same as it did the last 10 years. And dad may be over here saying, no, we're not together. We're going to have new traditions. So don't put the expectations that you have of how you tunnel vision see the holiday going onto the other parent. We have to realize that just because, well, I would expect the kids to have their hair done. I would expect the kids to be in nice clothes. I would expect the kids to be hungry. I would expect the kids to come here and have taken a nap. Those are your expectations. We can't go throwing those on the other parent at all. If we haven't communicated about it, I can't assume telepathically, that those things are going to be met and understood. I really have to keep that my expectations are mine. I wouldn't deliver the kids in jeans and a t-shirt. I would probably put them in a sweater and slacks. But that's how I grew up with the whole idea of dressing up for Thanksgiving. Maybe that other person, the other parent, didn't. So I can't put my expectations on how the kids are going to be dressed on that other parent. Okay? So make sure you recognize not only number 1, that your emotional state is yours and you need to be accountable for that, but your own expectations, if they haven't been talked about, we got to make sure that we keep our expectations our own if we're not going to communicate those to the other parent. Okay? Number 3, talking about traditions. Now, when you're a recently divorced person, you're a single parent, you have to wrap your brain around that your traditions are now yours. You can develop something new, something different, something totally off the wall that your kids would not normally be like associating with Thanksgiving or Christmas. If you've been with me a long time, especially my support group, who I'm also over here listening to and sharing with, I've always done scavenger hunts for my kids because I've been divorced at a very young age of them at 1 and 3, and they're now 16 and 18. We've done a scavenger hunt for every major holiday, special tradition, anything. We've always done a scavenger hunt. So for Christmas, now that my kids are older and they ask for nothing, because they have access to Amazon, we have really gotten into the scavenger hunt is like their gift. It's hard. It's difficult. It takes an hour, and it's within the home, and they end up hiding each other's clues, and it makes it even take longer. And so that's our spin and our tradition of my kids may not remember any gifts they got from the age of 1 to 3 to 16 to 18. But if you asked my kids blindly with me out, not saying a word to them, they would say, what's the most thing you remember, most special thing you remember about Christmas? And they will hands down say, the fights to get to the end of the scavenger hunt. Like, the scavenger hunt is where it's at. So that's how I have built a tradition. So I want you to look at this new path of holidays coming up as a way to build a tradition. Maybe on Thanksgiving you go to a movie, maybe with older kids, maybe you make dinner with your kids, maybe you make a pie together, maybe you do a card game with the whole family. You start a new tradition. Now, can you hold on to the old tradition that your mom has always done Wednesday night dinner? Sure, build that into your parenting plan. Sit down with your mediator or your attorneys or your ex and say, you and I both know my mom's going to keep cooking Thanksgiving dinner on Wednesday night, so just let me have Wednesday and you can have Thursday. Let's keep that tradition still going. That makes sense for the kids to be able to partake with all of their aunts and uncles and cousins about Thanksgiving on Wednesday and then Thanksgiving for Thursday for you, and then we go right back to whoever weekend it is for the weekend. That is a way to get the old traditions still in, but I want you to fast forward and be thinking about what does it look like to implement new traditions. You get to do anything you want now. You are a single parent with these kiddos for a holiday. I'm 43 years old and I have an 18, 16, 4, and 3-year-old. And I just found out today I'm cooking turkey for the first time. I'm hosting for the first time. I'm cooking turkey for the first time. I'm panicking. I mean, I'm sweating just thinking about I've never done it because I've always been at my grandma's. I've always been at my mom's. And now I'm the host and I'm freaking out. New traditions will be made this year. And it's going to be a group event. We're all going to have to pitch in, including my older children, and make a side dish. It's going to be fun. I hope. I hope. Number 4, over communicate and remind. Okay, I know 90% of the time I'll always tell you stop being everybody's secretary. But with the holidays, I would rather you right now, with it being early November, I would look at your parenting plan. I would look at your temporary orders. I would look at whatever paragraph you have previously talked about it with your ex and say, hey, just so we're on the same page, reminder or question. I always like to ask questions versus making statements when I talk to my ex. Say, hey, just so we're on the same page, I read it as you have Wednesday and Thursday, and I have that we switch Thursday night at 7 o'clock, and then I have them Friday, Saturday, and we go back to the normal schedule on Sunday. Are you reading that too the same way I'm reading that? Like, I got the year right, I got the time frame right. I'm over communicating and reminding. And then Wednesday of that week or Tuesday of that week, I'm saying, hey, I guess I'll see the kids on Friday at 7 o'clock. Hope nothing has changed. Have a good Thanksgiving. I'm just double checking. Because what I don't want to do is to not communicate about it. Someone has got the years wrong, and now the other parent is flipping shit that they told their parents and extended family that they would have the kids on Thursday and Friday and Saturday and not Wednesday and Thursday. And so then now we're in this, you got to be the bad person and say, no, I'm not going to swap. And then all hell breaks loose. So we got to make sure that we remind and ask and double check early now in early November and then the week of as well, just to be on the safe side. Number 5, extended family. This one, if you walk away with nothing else, please, if you are not an emotionally stable person right now, and I'm 16 years out, and I couldn't even tell you if I am 100% yet either, but if you are emotionally kind of on roller coaster avenue, I want you to talk to your extended family this week about Thanksgiving. I want you to touch base with your aunts, your uncles, your grandma, whoever the leader of the pack is. And I want you to talk to this person and say, look, my kids won't be there till 4 o'clock. I don't want questions. I don't want grilled. I don't want you grilling the kids when they get there. I don't need the over dramatization when they get dropped off. I don't need you coming to the door to see their dad. Like, give your expectations to your family. If you're going to be alone this Thanksgiving, have the talk now. That way Thanksgiving Day, you're not in a puddle of tears having this conversation. You're having a glass of wine, eating turkey, and laughing and enjoying because we've already had the difficult conversation on a different day. Now we're just enjoying the holiday. I don't like the idea of I show up and the people are like, well, where are your kids at? Oh, you mean he wouldn't give you the kids on Thanksgiving? No, see, they're not with me because we follow a parenting plan schedule, and it just so happens that this year he has the kids. Well, that's ridiculous. He knows we get together. Yeah, see, the thing is he gets together as well. So The kids are with his family and him today. And your family will just ruin the moment. They will ruin the moment for you. They'll make you feel bad. Not intentional, sometimes intentional. They'll make you feel like a piece of shit that you don't have your kids on a major holiday. They will ask you a bazillion questions, probably because they're married and they don't understand divorce and they don't understand parenting plans, and they will make you feel less than what you are, and it's not worth ruining that day. So get a hold of all your family, and you know the family member that's going to cause you problems. You know who they are. You know the subtle dropper of shame who talks to you. Get a hold of that person now and just say, look, Aunt Joanne, here's what's going to happen on Thanksgiving. I'm showing up. The kids aren't going to be there. You're going to bite your tongue and leave me the hell alone because I can't change it. Okay? I can't change it. And you're going to explain to her what the situation is. Now, if your kids are coming and then leaving, please explain that now to your friends and family who will be at Thanksgiving. Because the last thing you want is you gathering your kids at 4 o'clock to do an exchange. At 3:45, you're like, hey, kiddos, your dad's going to be here soon to pick you up. Can you go ahead and get your shoes on? And then your Aunt Joanne's like, what? The kids are leaving? We haven't even got the picture yet. Why didn't you tell me that they're leaving? We didn't do a game. We didn't do a picture. We haven't had dessert yet. And now the guilt is being thrown on you. And now the kids feel awkward. Now the kids are like, oh shit, we're leaving before the picture. Well, can't we just tell Dad we're going to be a little late? And then you panic because no, we can't tell Dad we're going to be late because we agreed on 4 o'clock and it's almost 4 o'clock and all hell will break loose. So get all of this figured out now to make it seamless. Hey, as soon as the kids and I get there, let's get that family picture taken. Let's get that done so we can eat turkey. We can sit and relax because they are leaving at 4 o'clock. I don't need a big, huge hoopla ordeal when the kids leave. Fist bump them, see you later, out the door they're going to go, and I'm coming back in, so there's no reason to go to the door and say goodbye 1,500 times. You'll see them tomorrow anyways when they come back. Explain to your family the situation to decrease your stress, okay? Explain to the extended family. Number 6, don't push the day. The day is supposed to be relaxing. You're supposed to be able to lay on the floor, take a nap, eat some turkey, be in the kitchen bitching at your mom and arguing a little bit. Like, this is supposed to be about turkey and togetherness and being grateful and spending time together. It should not be about hurry up, we got to do this, hurry up. Both of us are seeing the kids today, so you become into just this raging bitchy person because you're trying to get the kids to have to do too much on Thanksgiving. If you've seen my TikToks, I'm always going to say, I don't like doing exchanges on major holidays. When I build parenting plans for people, I let people pick 2 days or 3 days before the holiday and 2 days, 3 days after the holiday. They get a chunk of time. Both people can have chunks of time around the holiday. It's not about the day. It's about the tradition and the memory of it. You can ask my kids, 16 and 18. We've been divorced their whole freaking lives. What day do we celebrate Thanksgiving on? When you were 10? They're not going to know the fucking answer. What day did you celebrate Christmas on? When you were 9? Fuck, they couldn't tell you last year what day we celebrate on. But what they will tell you is that we do puzzles on Thanksgiving and scavenger hunts on Christmas. They don't know if it was on the 26th of Christmas or not, or December of not. They have no idea. But they know the tradition was there. So don't die on the cross in your parenting plan building and divorce settlements and divorce decrees and all this shit. Don't die on the cross on getting the day. I gotta have the day. No, you don't. What you gotta do is build a fucking tradition that gets your kids excited about coming to spend time with you. That should be your value. That should be your importance. That should be your yes, yes, yes thing. Okay? The other thing, number 7, keep yourself busy. Keep yourself busy. Like, busy during the holidays. We don't need downtime cuddling with a cup of God knows what, watching Netflix and binge the whole holiday season, having a fucking pity party for ourselves. You can't do that. You literally need to get off your ass and plan stuff. Be the single mom that goes to another person's Thanksgiving. I did this, I think it was my second year. My second year of being a divorced mom, I went to my secretary's Thanksgiving. It was the best decision of my life. Two culturally different groups of people. My tradition of Thanksgiving was not how they celebrated Thanksgiving. We were playing dominoes in the garage, and it was the best time of my life. I didn't feel lonely. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel like I was bad because I didn't have my kids. Like, there were so many kids running around that garage and that household that kept me entertained and laughing my ass off. I was actually thankful I didn't have my kids, because I got to sit back and watch other moms scream at their kids about, get out of the garage. It was a blast. I didn't sit at home and have a fucking pity party for myself. But what I did do is, when someone said, oh, you're not going to have your kids, come to my Thanksgiving, very easily I could have told my secretary, no, that's okay. But instead I was like, hell yeah, what time? What do I bring? Bring nothing, just come and enjoy. And no truer words were said. So keep yourself busy. Ask to go to people's things. Hey, I would love to go to that. Hey, I would love to host this. I would love to volunteer. I will go work at the shelter. I will go do this. Keep yourself up out of your house and involved in shit to keep your mind off the fact that you are now sharing holidays in a split home. These are facts. This shit ain't going away. You sitting at home feeling sorry for yourself, woe is me, oh my life, it ain't gonna fucking change until you put value on your day. And value is helping other people or being a part of something else or going and laughing and smiling. So stay busy, my friend. Number 8, don't rub the kid's nose in it. And I feel like I shouldn't have had to write this down, but I do. We can't do the ha 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 kind of game with our kids. And I know majority of you are not like this, but there are certain parents out there that just don't know any better, that rub their kids' noses in it, that they're missing family time with somebody else. Oh, yeah, your mom won't let you go to that. I know, 75 cousins over here, and we got a bounce house, and we have somebody coming to sing Christmas carols to all of us, and yeah, you can't come. Yeah, you can't come. I tried asking your mom, but she said no. What? And it goes both ways. There's just as many shitty moms as shitty dads out there that rub their kids' freaking noses in the ha-ha game, and it's ridiculous. Don't make your kids feel bad that they have to leave, or they're not a part of something, or they didn't get as great of gifts at one house, or whatever it is. You know, if some mom's like, how many gifts did you get? And the kid comes back with 10. Yeah, I got 10 gifts from dad. Mom, you don't get to say, wow, wish I could afford that. I could only afford 3 gifts. Really? Really? Like, that's what we're doing here? We're going to make our kids feel bad that they got gifts? We learn when to keep our mouth shut. Just because you're feeling emotionally triggered, that was number 1. That was rule number 1. Know when you're triggered yourself and keep your mouth shut as a parent. Okay? So we never rub our kids in the fact that they have to leave, that they got more at one house, that they didn't get enough at one house, that my house is better than your house, or my tradition is better than your tradition. Oh, he didn't do anything with you. Oh, she did that with you. No. We keep it to ourselves. That's the shit you text your girlfriend. That's the shit you text your mom. You don't do that to your kids. Not at all. Okay? Number 9. Right into it. Not a competition. If you try to get into a pissing match of a competition for any holiday, birthday, special occasion, anything like that with a high conflict personality person, you will lose every time, because those motherfuckers will go broke to beat you. You don't need to get into the pissing match of a competition. It's not about who bought more, or who took who on vacation, or who had the big extravagant, party versus the other. It's about a fucking memory. That's it. My daughter loves, who's 16. Yeah, she gets everything that she wants, probably too much, under the moon. You know what her probably best memory is, besides the scavenger hunt, is the little drives we go on Sunday nights to go get fucking 90-cent ice cream. She loves the gangster rap music we listen to, and we go on those drives. That's what she enjoys. Those are her moments. Those are her memories of us laughing and trying to sing and say every curse word we possibly can in a song. That is a memory. Your kids don't give a fuck about materialistic items. They're never going to remember, yeah, I had an Xbox when I was a kid. I had an Atari when I was a kid. I'm 43. I had an Atari. I never had a Nintendo. We weren't rich like that. I had an Atari. Couldn't tell you who bought it for me. But what I do remember is having my dad come back to my room and playing the game of the roller derby one. My mom coming in and playing Frogger and beating the shit out of my record. I remember those moments. I don't remember who the fuck bought it for me. So make a memory, not a competition. Because you'll lose every time if the other person wants to beat you. You'll lose every time. And it'll never stop. Number 10, the final one. This is going to be hard in the holidays. This is going to be hard. Don't mention the other party's name. What? Sam, that's not co-parenting. You're right. When you're in a high conflict co-parenting situation, you're not co-parenting. You're parallel parenting. And parallel parenting simply says this: do you let them do them? Stay parallel to each other. Don't try to be like, so how was Thanksgiving? What'd you do? Who was there? Oh, really? And you're bombarding your kid. No. Don't bring up the other person. Let your kids fucking relax. Let them have a great memory with that parent, and you worry about creating your memory with that kid at that moment. Don't try to act overly fake ass invested into the other house. You read like a fucking book. It's too obvious. Knock that shit off. You know your daughter's sitting there going, Jesus, Mom, like you're not even trying to pretend the sarcasm. Like, I know you don't give a shit who was there. All you really want to know is catch the gossip of who did who bring as a date. Like, get over yourself with the fake questions. Like, you got to let that shit go. Now, if your child brings up the other house, then go for it. Have that simple dialogue back and forth for 2 minutes and move subjects along. But I'm not going to do the fake spotlight questioning of like, did so-and-so come? Did Aunt Stacy come? Who'd she bring this year? Bitch, if you wanted to know about that family, you should have stayed married into it. Don't grill your kids about the other house. What'd you get for Christmas? What? No. No. If your kids want to share what they got for Christmas, great. Don't be over there tally marking yourself and trying to keep track of shit. Just don't mention the other name. Let your kids bring it up if they want to. And if they don't, then they're good with not talking about the other house. Kudos to you. Your kid has picked up on parallel parenting and has the idea that, hey man, I don't have to be bothered about this house over at this house. I don't have to worry about this house over at this house. I get to have freedom of having 2 separate households. This is awesome. No more fighting, no more bitching, no more meh with each other. I mean, if you read my comments a lot in TikTok, you guys, you can see that there's kids coming on there now as adults saying, yes, this is what my parents did. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. The comment section is where the education comes from sometimes in my TikToks. Because it's real life people that have hit 25, 35, 40 and are saying, fuck you, this is what my parents did. I hated it. Don't do this shit to your kids. It drives me nuts. So learn from those of us. I'm an experienced co-parenter. Somebody, a high conflict for 8 years. I stopped giving 2 fucks 8 years ago. 16 years in the game. I coach people with this. I'm not a huge rah-rah co-parenting unless we have 2 sane, civil people that have respect for one another. If one person doesn't have that, I rah-rah people right into parallel parenting. And to have that parallel parenting ability, you have to have a very fucking detailed parenting plan. If you don't have a detailed parenting plan, you are screwed from day one. You will be back in litigation quicker than the fucking stamp dries on your last piece of paper of your recent divorce decree. That is facts. Because when we leave gray area in parenting plans or up for interpretation or both parties will discuss and both parties will come to a conclusion later, the fuck they will. They're not going to. You guys want to do all of this? You got to have details. And here's the worst case scenario. Let's say we start out parallel with a very detailed parenting plan, just like my ex-husband and I did 8 years ago. We put that puppy up on the shelf and we never looked at it again. We compromise and negotiate all of our holidays. But in a time where we don't get along, you know what we do? Pull that fucker right back out and read from it like it's the Bible. That's what we do. You have to have a plan in writing. You cannot go into the context of co-parenting, whether co-parenting or parallel parenting, and just say, we'll figure it out as we go. No, the fuck you won't. Not when one of you starts dating again. Not when one of you wants to move. Not when one of you loses a job. Not when one of you becomes really happy and the other one stays bitter. You're going to hit roadblock, roadblock, roadblock. And what that's going to lead you to is back to litigation, back to lawyers, back to more money, back to hating, back to fighting. And your kids not thriving because they're watching 2 people go at it. So I try to get ahead of that. Okay? I build parenting plans for a living. That's what I do. I help people write their parenting plans to take to their attorney, to take to their ex, and I say, here you go. Here are all the questions. Here's how much detail you need. Let me write this bad boy for you, and let's call it a day. Take this, get educated. A lot of you are so new in the divorce. You got what, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and you're getting divorced. You have no idea the obstacles you're getting ready to go through. You have zero idea. Why not learn from somebody that has been in your shoes, physically been on that side of the table, still am, still co-parenting, still having to do this shit, but then also been in litigation for 8 out of the 16 years. I know what the court system is going to ask for. I know what your attorney is pushing you to do. I know what co-parenting requires. I know what parallel parenting requires. I've seen shitty parenting plans. I've seen amazing parenting plans. I've written amazing parenting plans. But if you don't have the detail, you are setting yourself up for either a world of just going, okay, I'm going to bite my tongue and just give up. I'm going to bite my tongue and just do it for you. I'm going to bite my tongue and just give up the holiday because I don't want to argue with it anymore. Or do you want to say, hey, you know what? I hear what you're asking. I'm just not seeing us compromise. So let's just go back to the parenting plan, okay? Maybe next year we can try to get ahead of this a little bit earlier and we can compromise. But no, I'm not agreeing to what you're proposing. So let's just go back to the parenting plan. If you don't have a detailed parenting plan and something comes up, what you're going to do is argue, bitch, and somebody's going to take it to court or take it to mediation. Why not get ahead of it? Why not have a plan? Why not have a detail? It seems so counterproductive. I mean, my whole goal is to change how everybody looks at divorce. You were married, you had a contract, you signed it in front of a judge, in front of a pastor, whoever. You signed that contract. You're wanting to break that contract and rip it up, but you got to have a new one if you have kids. I've never read a business contract that leaves open-ended interpretations. No way. If somebody was selling a business and had a contract agreement, they're not going to leave it open-ended like, well, pay when you want to pay, charge the interest you want to charge. I'm sure you two can get together later and figure out the interest that you want to charge for that, right? Hell no, that would never fucking fly. So why do we do that to parents? Two parents that don't want to be married together and intertwined, we give them a contract that still lets them have to be intertwined? Fuck that. I hate it for people. So, if you need help with your parenting plan, go to my link and take advantage of the link. Email me, samanthaboss@samanthaboss.com. Get in my support group that's been mentioned here, The Ugly Truth of Divorce. My whole objective when I was going through mine was there's got to be a better way. And I think I've tapped into it. Getting that parenting plan written early, with detail, with job descriptions, with policy, with procedure, with smarts of like, hey, you do you, this is what you're in charge of, I do me, and here is the small minimal things that we have to come together on. Otherwise, do your own shit. That's a great parenting plan. That's a successful parenting plan. So really think about who you've hired as an attorney. What does their parenting plan look like? Does it protect you now? Does it protect you in the long run? And do you have the ability to follow all of these rules in the near future for these holidays? These holidays are important to your kids. They will remember the holiday. They just don't have to remember what day it was on, but they're going to remember special moments. Make co-parenting as a single parent or parallel parenting as a single parent, make it about making memories, not about the day or a comparison game or a competition. Make it about you connecting with your child, not asking your child about the other house, not comparing, nothing. It doesn't matter if you are married or not. Everybody that has children needs a fucking parenting plan. You need this, okay? So if that is something you are interested in, I'm going to open it up to questions here for the rest of my TikTok live. If you're watching this on a recording, head to my website, samanthaboss.com, and get what you need. Do you need just a one-on-one? Do you need a parenting plan? Do you need me to just look at your parenting plan and tell you how shitty it is and give you some pointers on how to improve it if you're ready for a modification? But whatever it is, I want you to go back and take notes of what these 10 steps are to make sure your holiday time with your children is fucking amazing.